The President of Ukraine held a press conference on the results of 2023, another difficult war year. Good afternoon, this is Henry Keane on UATV English, giving you some hard truth in easy terms for the whole free world, as usually directly from Ukraine. During last year, there were victories and failures, but there are no objective grounds for despair, and that's about the victory of Ukraine. The President had an honest conversation with journalists. He did not hide or keep silent about any existing problems, and also assured that he would make efforts to solve them.
We are sacrificing a lot. We are fighting for our independence. We are fighting for our country, for a future, the future that we choose by ourselves, and not the future that is chosen by the Russian Federation. And therefore, the President states that the historic victory for Ukraine is the opening of the dialogue for our country as to the future accession of Ukraine. There's two waves, the candidacy and the second year of the full-scale war, and now there is this opening of the accession talks.
In 2023, Ukraine put an end to the enemy's dominance in the Black Sea, inflicted crushing defeats no less on the enemy fleet, and unblocked maritime trade routes. Russia did not make any progress at the front. That is a fact. Ukraine will not change its strategy aimed at liberating all territories temporarily occupied by Russia. At the same time, based on the results of 2023, Ukraine will revise its fighting tactics. Ukraine also counts on the further support of the US Congress and also for a mutually acceptable resolution of issues with Poland. It was a difficult year for Ukraine, and the previous one was not easier. But we did not choose this war, and we cannot stop it, only win it. Have you ever noticed that the most notorious scum are always the most pious? Demonstrably pious, or in Russia's case, monstrably. Russia's Government Commission on Legislative Activities has endorsed a new draft law that would criminalize russophobia, whatever that means. Oh, I love it. Start a war. Rob, kill, kidnap, burn, rape, then pout your lip and throw a charge on everyone who calls you a robber and a murderer and a rapist. The law prepared by State Duma Deputy Irina Yarovaya would apply to discriminatory actions committed outside the territory of the Russian Federation against a resident or national of Russia, including calls to commit such actions. It is the Liberal Democratic Party of Russia, LDPR, parliamentary faction that baked a bill which will introduce the notion of russophobia to the criminal code. Russophobia is quite a costly luxury, It costs perpetrators for fine between 100,000 or 300,000 rubles, which is 1,153,460 euros. Now, banned from being employed, or, in certain capacities, community service, or a beloved Russian punishment, prison term for up to 5 years. What a resourcefulness, actually, an ingenious idea how to replenish the Russian budget affected by sanctions, to find people for telling the truth. Not only domestically, globally. After all, today everyone who have seen Russian bloody deeds in Ukraine is simply obliged to become a Russophobe. I suggest that Russian Duma not only introduce a law, but keep up with the times and introduce a subscription on Russophobia. Say you pay a certain amount per year and get accredited as an official Russophobe. With a 3-month free trial period, I'm sure that they can get about 40 million users only in Ukraine just like that. The United Nations General Assembly adopted an updated resolution condemning Russian violation of human rights in the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine. The UN General Assembly is the most representative international voice that consistently supports Ukraine. This is not the first time that the international community has recorded gross violations of human rights by Russia. The Kremlin dictatorship despises human rights and dignity as such. The updated resolution of the UN General Assembly condemns the actions of the Russian Federation and calls on Moscow not only to stop the forced removal of Ukrainian children and civilian hostages to Russia, but also to enable their immediate return to the motherland, Ukraine.
I welcome the updated United Nations General Assembly resolution condemning Russia's grave human rights violation, notably urging it to cease forcible deportation and ensure a safe return of all Ukrainian children and civilian hostages. These are some of the most serious crimes and they must be stopped. Dmytro Kuleba, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on social network X, formerly Twitter.
The International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for Putin and the children's ombudsman of the Russian Federation, Lyubova Belova, if you remember, for the deportation of Ukrainian children. The decisions of the General Assembly will have not only moral but also political consequences because they are a guideline for the policy of states and international organizations towards the aggressor state. It was Russia that started the confrontation with the West, not the other way around. The West did not interpret Russia as an enemy, but on the contrary promoted its economic growth and involvement in solving problems, international problems. For the West, it is not only Ukraine. Russia encroached on the main foundations of the modern world order established by international law. It was the establishment of the supremacy of the international law that put an end to the era of bloody wars over territories in Europe. Russian aggression against Ukraine, encroachment on its territory and disregard for international law creates a precedent that threatens global security. Therefore, restoring justice to Ukraine is a fundamental issue. The lessons of the Second World War is that the appeasement of the aggressor is the way to a great war, not to peace. It was Henry Keane on UATV English, hoping to give you the hard truth in easy enough terms. On a daily wrap-up today, please comment, please like, and please subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters a lot to us. Stay safe and tune for more UATV English. See you very soon.